Welcome to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Owen Hayes. You're watching Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented to you by the one and only Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. I hope everyone had a great Saturday. It was beautiful weather, and hopefully you got some plans for today and maybe this week going forward. We got lots of options that are out there, and today, yesterday I had to skip quite a bit of our standard info, but we're going to get to that today. Also, we got a little bit of time for you. If you want to call us up on the viewer hotline, it's easy. It's 503-548-6777. Questions, comments, reports, please call us up. Things are starting to dry out a little bit, no pun intended. Starting to dry out a little bit. Not a lot of reports that are coming in. Still, some Chinook reports to share and summer steelhead reports to get in there. But we'd love to hear from you. Maybe you're out having some fun. You don't have to tell us what rock you're standing on unless you want to, but we'd love to hear from you, so don't be shy. If you've been sending photos in just a minute, we're going to be showing several of those photos, and we'll show you how you can actually do that yourself. Super simple, easy ways to do it, so we're going to get to that. This upcoming segment, we'll have my field report from this past week. Like I just mentioned, we weren't able to get to that yesterday. We actually had a chance to spend some time over in Coos Bay for my very first time. I've never been to Coos Bay per se. I've driven by it on 101, but I've never spent any time there. We hung out with the folks from Mill Casino, Sharky's Charters, Spin Reel Dunes, Dune buggy rides, whatever. Tons of fun, so we're going to go over that real quickly. Did some great fishing. Lumpy. We'll have some video of that here in the next week or two to show you, but we'll have that report at least to get out there to everyone. And of course, we're going to get weather from our good friend Katie and find out how this weather is going to be going forward. Hopefully it starts to turn into some 80s instead of 90s, for crying out loud. I'm not tired of it yet, but I'm getting really, really close. There's no question of that. Special guests in studio, though, for the very first time. From Edge Rods, we've got Kelsey Arndt and Austin, not Justin. Austin, by the way, the handsomest man on Instagram. Austin Gatchett from Edge Rods. That was for you, bro. That's a gift from our good friend Jared. Also, in a little bit, we're going to talk with Austin Mosier from Austin's Northwest Adventures. He's live over there on the east side of Washington, chasing those things. Arguably, the best eating salmon that travel the Columbia River. Maybe not even arguably. Spring Chinook? Unquestionably, it's right there, but those sockeye are phenomenal. So we'll get a quick report from Austin, real time, see how things are going for them and how that season is going up to this point. From what I've heard, it's been pretty good, but we'll get a real-time report from Austin in just a little bit. Then we're also going to have your Chevy Silverado Tech Tip of the Week, where we're going to lean on Kelsey and Austin. Again, not Justin, how they like to go after a number of different species. Sockeye, fall Chinook, which is right around the corner. We're going to talk about the rods that they like to fish with, which ones help them be more successful when they're out there targeting salmon. And I already learned a little bit, because they did bring in a rod that I haven't seen yet, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, made for sockeye fishing, correct? Where you're running the Dodgers, so super slick. So we'll have a chance to check in with them and find out a couple of different new rods from Edge that you're going to want to look into. So, but before we get too far, I'm trying to buy time, if you can tell. I've got Richard from Kenmore on the line. He's got an upcoming fishery report up in Puget Sound. So I want to get Richard's call, and I know that we missed him yesterday. And for all those that called in yesterday with questions for our guest, I apologize. Time is one of those things you just can't change. It's like math. Just is what it is. Richard, what's going on up there? Which fishery do you got coming up? Okay, they're telling me we got to pause for a second there with Richard, but let's show you some of the photos that everyone's been sending in, and there's no shortage of them. It's easy to do. I'll show you the easiest way when we get done with these, but lots of photos coming in, so we want to see more. There's a great one. First sockeye of the season. This is Axton. I love that name, by the way. I haven't seen that one. Very, very cool. Nice shot. Deliciousness. Right. I sure wish we could have fished for them longer below Bonneville, for crying out loud. First sockeye for Dave as well. And there's been a lot of folks this year this was that year that they finally got a chance to catch a sockeye. For a lot of us that are, down here, the west side of the state. Hopefully, I wished it would have held on a little bit longer. Coastal bass. This is Robin. Very cool. Nice shot. And there's plenty of largemouth bass along the coast, believe it or not, everyone. Look in the 10 mile. Oh, man, all you bass folks are yelling at the screen right now. I apologize. Family sockeye fun. Even though that ain't a sockeye, if that was a sockeye, that'd be a world record. That's a nice Chinook, by the way, chasing fish in the gorge. And like I mentioned, we're going to show you exactly how you can do it. And this is what I was doing this past week, chasing some of those groceries out there. And it did remind me, I'll be honest, it reminded me why I'm not a saltwater person, but we'll get to that in my upcoming report when we get there. Here's another nice one. Nice Chinook hatchery fish. That looks like big water. That is definitely not on the Columbia, I don't believe, unless it's down there in Astoria. Happy 43rd, V. You made it. You got a long ways to go. You're young. Jimmy is on the board, it says here. Jeff sent this in. That's down there in the harbor, which, just to give that up already, I mean, that's still holding out. That lower end of the Willamette is definitely still holding out in the middle of July. Certainly just kind of a weird scenario. Nathan's brown trout from Diamond Lake. That fishery has just been fantastic. I need to get back down there. That's been one of our pretty consistent reports. I probably wouldn't have mentioned it specifically if it wasn't for the photo right there. It's been really good. If you get the chance to go, I would take advantage of it. Look at that, Mackinac. Oh, that's a cutthroat? Wait a second. Pyramid Lake. That's a cutthroat, everyone. I thought that was a Mac for sure. Jeez. That's a dandy. That looked 15, 18-ish pounds, somewhere in there. Timothy with the rainbow. That's another nice rainbow. Steve Parr sent that in. Thank you. And it's easy to do, everyone. There's lots of ways that you can send them in, but there's no question the easiest way is that Fox 12 app. Once you download it, you can find out their GPS, get all the local news that you need, weather, everything, of course, but nothing more fun than outdoor GPS, not to be selfish. Once you get there, it'll show you how you can upload your photos and video, and we show you off at the beginning of each one of our segments. Okay, can we go to Richard? Richard, thanks for calling, my friend. Looks like you've got an upcoming fishery that you want to talk about in Puget Sound. What's going on?
Hey, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week, Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife have cut us down to 3 days a week. You can retain coho 7 days a week, but just 3 days a week on the Chinook. But something's better than nothing.
Can you hear that in his voice, everyone? Yeah, something's better than nothing. I get it, though. At least you're able to chase some silvers. I'm sure that this time of year, even for you up there, they're not all that large. But how's the salmon fishing when it is open on those Friday, Saturday, and Sunday openings?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
This is the 18th is the first of three-day openers. They're gonna evaluate it after there's so few quota in Area 9 that it'll probably go 3 or 4 days. So my area, I'm hoping 9, Owen, but this is just terrible.
It's a story of our times. Let's just make more fish. Let's get the hatcheries up and running full bore. Let's get rid of the idiot organizations that are trying to control everything and ruin our fisheries here in the Northwest, and maybe get some management that uses common sense rather than knee-jerk reactions. And okay, I'm going to get sidetracked. Sorry.
Hey, it was really a breath of fresh air to have your director come on a radio TV show and be so transparent when we can't even get our director up here to tell us his algorithms and his numbers on how they come together, how it comes together. It was a breath of fresh air, and like, whoa. This is what can be. So.
It was one of those moments when you have the chance to see something that you don't normally get to see. I can say that. I've been doing this for 16 years. I've had a chance to interview ODFW from the top to the bottom hundreds of times, literally. And that was our first opportunity that anybody from the upper echelon has ever agreed to come in, and that just goes to show you that she is transparent and that she is focused on trying to make things better. And she mentioned it here, so you saw it on Outdoor GPS. Richard, have yourself a great Sunday.
It also goes to show you, Owen, that you're doing the right thing by having the show, and you continue to improve our fisheries, so thank you.
Hey, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Richard, have a great Sunday, okay? Be safe out there when you get on the water this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.